This is a fun story. I'll give you this. I don't think I've ever told this one. I was writing like bad sketch jokes my like first year in LA with a friend of mine at the Coffee Bean. I don't even think it's there anymore, across from the mall. And it's late and they're about to close down. And in walks NORM MACDONALD. And the girl says to me, who I'm writing with, this girl that I worked with at a production company, she says to me, she goes, "Oh yeah, you know who that is, right?" And I go, "Holy fuck, holy shit." And she goes, "That's the Bob Dole guy." I go, "The Bob Dole guy?"
Oh, I would have ripped her eyes out.
Hey, I'm Bob Dole. And pipe down, you damn hoodlum.
I mean, I was like, "It's fucking NORM MACDONALD." And she's like, "No, I know, I forgot his name." I was like,
"Oh,
what?"
God.
So we sit there and I'm kind of fanboying out and I'm just kind of, like not trying to face him, and he's ordering coffee and I keep kind of looking over just to like, cause you just want to get a glimpse. Cause when I'm 22, I just moved to LA. I was like, fuck, holy shit, it's NORM MACDONALD. He comes near where the coffee is. He looks over. She's a pretty girl. Okay. And obviously doesn't see me at all. Doesn't know I exist. And he's kind of trying to talk her up a little bit. He's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And she goes, "Oh, we're writing sketches." And he goes, "Oh yeah, I know a thing or two about sketches." And both of us were like, "Yeah, no, we know." Like, and I started stumbling. I'm like, "No, I was a fan of your sketches," you know. And he goes, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go next door. I'm gonna get a Steinbeck novel, Barnes and Noble. There used to be a Barnes and Noble." He goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna get a Steinbeck novel." I'm laughing, thinking he's just making jokes. And he goes, I'll be back. Okay, I'll be back." And he walks out, and I'm like, "Whoa, how fucking cool was that?" Hand to God, he comes back in with a Steinbeck novel and sits down by us and just starts talking.
Oh my God.
I swear on my life.
Oh my God.
It was almost like you started a NORM engine and he just wanted to talk. So he just started talking and talking and talking and telling stories. And I shouldn't tell it, like, I don't want to fuck it up, but the best story he told, I said, "What was your most, like, secret fun thing that happened at SNL that, like, you know, like, what was some inside shit?" And he goes, Smigel and I, Robert Smigel. If you don't know who Robert Smigel is, he's Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
Mr. Rickles, this may be presumptuous on my part, but I would be so honored. May I sniff your butt?
He goes, "Smigel and I, we used to write sketches for Tracy, because we knew Tracy Morgan. We knew Tracy, you know, he was bad in table reads. He couldn't read for shit. You know, he's a fucking stumble through words, you know. So one time we wrote this sketch that we knew was going to tank. Lauren hated it. And we showed it to Tracy anyway because we knew he had trouble reading. He had someone helping him read. He had bad time with S's. So we wrote this sketch about this guy who's like a gay animal handler named Brian Fellows." Do you remember that sketch?
Yeah.
Brian Fellows?
Brian Fellows spent 4 years in Thailand as a volunteer for and later director of the Southeast Asian Animal Rescue Project. He subsequently served as Director of Animal Operations at the San Diego Zoo and Undersecretary of the Interior for Wildlife Management.
Brian Fellows, Brian Fellows, Brian Fellows, Safari Planet.
And he goes, if you look, the best part for us was it was Brian Fellows, 'S, Safari Planet. It was 3 S's in a row is the sketch that we pitched. So in the room, even though the sketch was bad, we knew Tracy would go, "Brian Fellows, this is Brian Fellows."
I'm Brian Fellow! Yes, I'm well aware, and I didn't mean to insinuate anything by that. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. Let me tell you, I once saw a video of a monkey washing a cat. That's crazy!
Okay. All right, this is nuts. You've clearly overstated your credentials.
I'm Brian
wasting
Fellow.
my time here.
I'm Brian Fellow. Good, go. And take that monster with you and tell him to stop smiling at me.
And Norm goes, he goes, "That is the funniest thing. We used to fuck with Tracy all the time." And dude, I was like, my heart was filled with comedy warmth.
Yeah.
This is the most wild part. Again, I don't believe that this happened. To myself, I'm going, this is a lie. You're making this up.
Right.
But she's my proof. We walk out when they finally close the doors. After they're like, "Mr. McDonald, you can stay." You know, the Coffee Bean kids are sitting just listening. We all walk outside, and he starts taking off, kind of headed north on La Cienega. And as a joke, my friend goes, "Do you want to ride? Are you walking?" And he goes, No, I don't want to get in the car with you." And we start laughing, and he goes, "Okay, shotgun." And he comes and runs, sits in the front seat.
No.
I swear to God on my life.
Oh my God.
Her car. I'm sitting in the back seat. and he's showing us where to go, and we drop him off at his house, and at this complex, and he gets out and he kind of opens the door, and we didn't say anything the whole car ride.
Right.
We just listened to him going, "No, left here, right here," and he gets out and he turns and looks in the car, and all he said, he just goes, "Good luck," or whatever, and closes the door.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my Norm MacDonald moment in comedy. But because he was one of those guys that I was like, when he did Weekend Update, I was like, that's the funniest guy to read.
He was the best at that.
Yeah, because
I don't find it funny. He was the only person that I found funny in that position.
Because he didn't care. The jokes were him making a joke about the joke.
Right. I think that's
how
what it was.
funny it was.
Yeah.
And after I saw him do that, I thought that's the guy that can write jokes better than anybody that I didn't know anyone that could write a joke like that, where it's like, it's really clever, it's funny, but he throws it in the trash. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like he wrote it, he's like, ha ha, and throws it away.
Demi Moore is wrapped filming on G.I. Jane, in which she plays a Navy SEAL combat officer. Moore says that in contrast to other Hollywood portrayals of women in the military, her character will have giant breasts.
I got addicted to you. Oh, no, no, no. And come to think of it, I need somebody like you. Oh, no, no, no. I need someone like you.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
When I first started, when I first came to Hollywood, my goal was just to get my name on there. You know how they write the names on the comedy store? Like,
I got my name on.
You got on
how
there?
long ago?
Yeah, about a year, almost a year ago.
A year ago. I'm 61 years old.
I never got it on there.
You never got it on at all?
No,
We'll make that happen.
I don't think so.
I'll bet you we could.
It's got to be bigger than the rest now.
Well, let's see what I can do.
I don't like is when they make those dirty drinks.
Dirty
nowadays.
Sanchez?
Dirty Sanchez. That's what you drink.
What dirty drinks?
No, they say like
Pink pussy,
huh?
and, like the pink pussy.
You don't have to be dirty, but the guy doesn't realize there's a TV camera aimed
You
at
guys,
him.
this is like your little brother.
God damn, man.
You have such control.
You were on a show that almost was the precursor for
Oh, it definitely was a precursor.
Precursor.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Because that's in Breaking Bad. But
Yeah.
also Weeds was like kind of
Broke down the door for Breaking Bad.
broke down the door
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Breaking Bad, he says.
And he's the post-cursor. I got nothing, man.
He's just a cursor.
I'm just cursed.
God damn, no, your words you use. Pussy. You can say
What was another dirty drink? What were you thinking of? You know me, I don't know shit about golf.
$25,000 a week he costs.
Is that right?
He says really.
Well, we also have to take a break.
Are you kidding me?
It says it right on the monitor.
We have no
Really?
sponsors.
Oh, I thought we do have a sponsor, right?
You know what's amazing that I didn't
We
know?
have no sponsors.
It's got word they have to take a break.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great. Let's take a break.
All right. Let's take a break.
Say it to the camera.
How do you take it?
Let's take a break.
And that's it. That does it? Go ahead, say something to me, and I'm going to show you how I act by reacting.
How are you feeling, Carolyn?
In my head, I'm thinking, how am I feeling? All right.
Jesus, that was good.
I'm not finished.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm all right. You?
I guess I'm all right. I don't know.
Worst reaction ever. Doesn't even know how he fucked. But whatever, you need a sidekick.
You have a sketch that you wrote that gets like on at 12:55.
Yeah.
And then Lauren comes and goes, you got to move this down to 4 minutes.
Yeah, how do
gotta
you
make
do
it
that?
3.5
How is
minutes.
that possible?
He says, we could either put it on or, we'll cut it and do it another week. And it's not going to get on another week.
Yeah.
So
It's
you
hard to
say,
do
"Oh,
that.
no."
You have to talk fast. And, you know what I mean?
No.
You don't know what
I
you
know
have to
it-
talk fast means?
I know, but
That happened. How did you guys meet? Did you have to audition for
we
this?
covered that in the Tom Green episode. No, we met at Tempe Improv.
I like he's mad.
Well,
He's like he's mad at you. We covered that in the Tom Green episode.
I was saying it to you. I met him when I used to manage the improv in Tempe.
I didn't ask you if you managed the improv. I just asked you where you met him.
He's good with that.
Wasn't Kippadata the guy who went over to? No, that was Kelly Monteith.
Kelly Monteith, another one. But these guys were all like established when I came in.
What's his name from
Richard
Chicago?
Lewis. That's it?
That's how he helps out.
he used to do the two-man act with Tim Reed.
Tom Dreesen.
Dreesen.
Yeah.
Beretta was the best.
And the Little Rascals, I saw him in there.
Yeah.
The book was riveting.
And the Flying
You didn't
Knight.
read the book?
No, but I heard it.
Yeah, you heard it from me because I read it. God damn.
That was
this
a word you kept
motherfucker.
using, right?
I mean, no offense to him, but he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Him and Beretta.
Had him do a joke.
All right. A good name for a dog is Syndrome. That then when he tries to attack someone, you can yell "Down, Syndrome."
Don't laugh.
It's not.
I
mean, it's yeah.
That's like
it was a little insensitive, I guess.
Go by this one.
Movie star and award-winning director Ben Affleck has vowed to live for one day on $1.50, or as Adam Egget calls it, a raise.
He did the joke and you were the punchline.
Yeah, I'm broke. There's going to be a Broadway musical based on the movie Rocky. I don't know if you guys heard about this. In the Broadway musical version of the show, after Rocky climbs the steps of the art museum, he goes inside and spends 2 hours looking at paintings.
Yeah, I know, god damn.
Goes inside and looks at what? Paintings?
He looks at paintings.
I like
for
that.
2
That's a good
hours. In England, a woman was arrested for throwing a birthday party for her 16-year-old son that included marijuana, alcohol, and strippers. Now she's got even bigger problems. What to do for his 17th birthday.
Whatever. You know what my favorite impression that you did was? When Sam Donaldson was on the chair.
That was hilarious. I loved you as the audience member in the Phil Hartman's Donahue sketch when the women, they were like battered wives or something similar to that.
Were you in the, thank you. Were you in the,
Thanks so much for calling in, Super Dave. Please come back.
I didn't call in, asshole. I didn't call in. You called me. I'm not calling into this. Let me explain something. If I'm homeless, I'm not calling in.
Duly noted, Super Dave.
You understand? You understand?
Yes.
Obviously, a lot of entertaining celebrities, but Norm Macdonald used to come on our show in the early days, and those were, I thought, great television because we never knew it was happening, and it was always teetering on the edge of, it was all about to blow up. It's all about to fail, and it would always end brilliantly. And then he stopped coming around, and it was just a period that passed. And I was always sad about that because I thought, we're a very celebrity-conscious age, and people always think that the best guests are the biggest celebrities. Sometimes, you know, the best guests are these people that you have a weird connection with, and it's compelling television. People see and they talk to me about it later on. Like I'll be out in the world walking around, and people will say, "I saw that when when you were with Harlan or when you were with Norm or with Ron. That really got wild and crazy in a way that they don't see on television now."
Have you, over the years, who are some of the people who have been your go-to people? That I just remember Dave in his early years had Terry Garr and he had Sandra Bernhard.
Yes.
And they were kind of magic together. Who are your...
I had so many people. Norm Macdonald was this person who would come, you all know Norm Macdonald, but Norm Macdonald, when we'd have him on in the early days, to this day I've never interviewed anybody like Norm Macdonald.
Who was the best guest that you've ever interviewed, and who was the worst?
I love Will Ferrell. I also love Norm Macdonald because he comes on and his stories are all invented. None of them are real. They're all old farmers' daughters jokes. And he pretends he'll come on. I'll say, "What's up, Norm?" He'd be like, the other day I was walking down the road and a pirate comes up. I'm like, "What?" Yeah. A pirate comes along, and he's got 3 pigs with him. One of them is wearing a hat. One's got a pipe, and then it's just a complete waste of everybody's time. That's absolutely delightful and hilarious. And so I love him.
Your favorite guests are always like the Bill Burr, Norm Macdonald. This might go off the rails really fast. Type of guys.
Yeah. I mean, Norm Macdonald, one of the great talk show guests of all time. He invented something that Norm Macdonald invented this amazing thing that I've never seen anybody do before or since. It's kind of like he split the atom. It was that revolutionary. Norm would come on and he would, instead of telling you a real story, like if I had you on the show and you're like, hey, Bill, tell me, well, and remember I was living in Chestnut Hill once, and you would tell a real story about what happened to you in your life. Norm tells old jokes as stories that happened to him.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, Norm, what are you up to? And I mean, really old jokes from like the 1920s. And he'd be like, well, Conan, I don't know if you're aware that I purchased a farm, Conan. I'd be like, really? You purchased? Yeah. I purchased a farm. Of course, I have 3 daughters. And I'm like, you have 3 daughters? Yeah, I have 3 daughters on the farm. One very attractive, one not as attractive, and of course the third not, kind of. Well, she's ugly, Conan. She's ugly. And I'd be like, Well, one day this traveling salesman comes to the farm. And he says, now, Norm, I tell you. And then it's like he's telling an old traveling salesman joke.
Yeah.
But
about halfway through where it's going.
I mean, I usually know. I know kind of what he's doing. I'm laughing that he has the balls to do this. I'm laughing at the audacity. So I don't even care if this joke lands or not. I'm laughing that he's committing to the fact that, no, he doesn't have a farm. He doesn't have 3 daughters. There's no traveling salesman. But he doesn't care in a way that is exhilarating and scary at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And plus, he probably has some people in the audience who are taking completely seriously, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's got some people thinking.
We call them tourists.
Yes, we call them. They're usually from San Bernardino.
Well, Norm had the greatest talk show moment in the history of talk shows with Courtney Thorne Smith.
That was epic. That was so great. And it's funny because
it's lived on. Who knew that we were going to have YouTube eventually where we could just queue it up on command?
God bless YouTube. I had no idea when those things were happening. I thought, we're talking 1993, 94. When those things were happening, I thought, what did I know? I just thought if you were up and you saw it, that means you saw you saw an amazing thing happen. And if you, and then maybe if I get to stay on the air long enough, we'll have a 1-year anniversary show and maybe you'll see it then. But if you're not there for that, it's gone. And now I meet people, that around the world that will say, oh, I just saw that thing with you and Norm and Courtney Thorne Smith. And I'll think that was a moment of my life when I was 30.
Yeah.
And I'm like 85 now. Like, how is that possible?
Straight to the heart. I went a long time acting like I was a broken apart by you.
Everybody knows now Norm MacDonald died 2 days ago. And I got the news like everyone else, just absolutely stunned. Had no idea that Norm had not only been very ill, but been very ill for a very long time. None of us had any idea. And there's been this seismic reaction, which is appropriate, completely appropriate in the comedy world. And a lot's been said about Norm. And I just had this very strong feeling yesterday that I needed to talk to people about it and talk to people who, like me, experience Norm in the moment and really try and understand what it was about this man, this very improbable
unusual man. What made him so different? And I maintain that, we are accustomed, sadly, to losing funny, talented people all the time, and we grow accustomed to it. I think Norm's impact is only going to grow, and I think his significance in comedy is only going to expand over time because he was such an incredible talent, and trying to describe what made Norm different is so difficult. And I think so far I've read everything that's out there, and I'm hearing, to be fair, people were all taken by surprise. You're just hearing he was an original and there was no one like Norm. And I keep thinking, no one's getting to it. And I just wanted to take a stab today to try and understand what exactly it was about this guy that was so brilliantly unusual and is going to be so lasting, and his work is so important. And one of the things that speaks to, I was having a conversation with Jim Downey and in the wake of Norm's death, and Jim Downey, and I was trying to get to what is it that made Norm so different, and he reminded me, he said, on Weekend Update, we would do, there's a dress rehearsal, which I know because I worked at Saturday Night Live. There's a dress rehearsal, and he said, the best way to test a joke on Weekend Update is at dress rehearsal. If it does well at dress rehearsal, it will do well on air. If it doesn't do well at dress rehearsal, it will bomb on air. It's the best way to test it. And he said that Norm would do a joke at dress rehearsal that they both loved, and it would get nothing. And when Weekend Update was over, Jim would say, yeah, it's too bad that joke didn't do well. And Norm would say, yeah, I know, but we got to do it. So he would do jokes that he knew were going to get nothing.
Yeah.
If he thought the joke was worthwhile, he didn't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is very uncommon. That is very...
Well, he never pandered.
He didn't pander at all. And that takes... that's what made me think about the line you said so many years ago, Andy, it almost terrifies me, his fearlessness, because it was the thing he did so many times on our show, which I thought was absolutely outrageous, was he would launch into these long stories that you quickly realized were farmers' daughter jokes
or shaggy dog
stories
just absolute horseshit
horseshit stories. And he would go on and on and on, and I'm so happy that the moth joke has been getting circulated so much from our Tonight Show, because it is completely outrageous what he's doing. It is it's the Tonight Show, and he is telling this very long story, and he's taking all the time in the world. And I love it just because even though I was there, I'm delighted every time I see it.
Yeah.
I every time I see it, I'm delighted with it, because what he's doing breaks every rule. Brevity is the soul of wit. That is the rule.
Yeah.
Keep it, and man, he completely, like Picasso, blew up the form. He goes and he tells this joke forever, and then finally gets to this punchline, and you can see that everyone's delighted, but he has broken every rule in the book. And I was talking to Lori Joe, and I asked her if it's okay if I related this, and she said it was okay. But she said that not too long ago, someone asked Norm about the moth story that he told on our Tonight Show, and that she said, the guy wanted to know what made you have the nerve to do that, and that he said that it was that goddamn Frank Smiley. He said, I was only supposed to do one segment. And then suddenly in the commercial break, Frank came over and said, like, you're doing another one, because whenever I had Norm, I was greedy. I wanted more Norm. I always wanted more Norm. And so he didn't know that we were going to ask him to do a second segment. He had nothing planned, absolutely nothing planned. And so as recently as like not that long ago, I think this was a couple of months ago, he was telling somebody, damn it, that was Frank Smiley. Hey, get back out there. Conan wants more.
So he heard that joke from Colin Quinn. And he did the segment. And it was he had 7 minutes prepared.
Yeah.
And so he basically, you say, and then he's done. He's done. You say, we'll be right back with more Norm. And he goes, I've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
So then he remembered the Colin joke, and it was a 20-second joke. So he asked you, how long is the segment? And he was hoping you'd say 20 seconds.
Right.
But you said 7 minutes.
Yep.
So it became a 7-minute joke.
Yeah, and he's doing that. This has to be understood. He's doing this on the fly.
Yep.
So his way to slow it down that he came up with on the fly is he invents...
It's a Chekhov play.
It's a Chekhov play.
With Russian names.
And there's a sadness, an ineffable sadness in life weighing on the character's soul. And and I'm thinking, who... I've never met anybody who would take that chance and make that choice. And I'll never meet anybody like him again.
He was the ballsiest comedian in the history of comedians.
He was taking that, and he was saying, like, the joke doesn't matter. Like that, he would watching that, seeing that clip again. You're getting to see his brain. Yeah. He's just showing you his brain. And the notion that that the joke is the thing. The joke isn't the thing.
No, it's the journey.
It's taking a stroll through this guy's brain and hearing the choices that he makes and what he has to say. And and I think that was like kind of what, like, there was so much of like what he would say, like, well, that doesn't matter, this matters. And what mattered to him was his own self-expression, was spreading his own kind of genius and his own point of view. Like, there's a clip out, he did some roast, and I remember seeing it at the time. I can't remember who it was that he was roasting, but all his jokes are things.
It was Bob Saget.
Was it Bob Saget?
Yes. And it was unbelievable.
But all the jokes were things like, Bob often has a lot of things on, Bob often has things on his mind. It's when he's wearing a hat. Like, it was all these dad jokes, intentionally bombed.
Right.
And then I didn't even know this, but I remember feeling like, okay, Norm, I mean, these are funny, and you're funny doing them because you can't help but be funny, but this feels a little hostile, why are you breaking from what this, you were invited to a costume party and you came, in a tuxedo, whatever. He didn't play by the rules of the thing. Turns out the producers told him, really go for it, really get him. And Norm was like, you're going to tell me what to do. Here, I'll do this. I'll do the softest, lamest dad jokes I can come up with.
Yeah.
And it was just a fuck you to the producers. It looked weird at the time. It was funny in a way, but it still was just like, it was Norm doing what the fuck he wanted to do.
It was still hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's like Norm couldn't not be funny.
Yeah.
I've had this gnawing regret this last day and a half, and it's reading all this praise for Norm, which again I believe is completely justified and will endure. And it's been a regret that he didn't get to experience this. You know, he took so much flack in his career. He took so much shit. And yes, he knew that he had fans, but I wish, you know, it's a common wish for people, but I wish he had been able to read the stuff that's being written about him. I wish he knew how beloved he is, and also how in awe comedians are of what he did and what he meant, and how you know,
how important he was to the people who are probably the most important people in the world to him.
Yeah,
you know,
and he, you know, I wish he knew that, and that's the one regret I you know, he kept his illness a complete secret from everybody. And that was his choice, and I respect that choice.
See how it's done.
But selfishly, for me, I wish I had the chance, and I wish a lot of us wish we had the chance to go in and tell him, you were a singular artist, and you've really made a huge difference, and I mean, if nothing else, I don't know of anybody that could make me laugh like that.
What was it like working with Norm?
Norm's a special guy. You know, everyone who meets Norm, you can't help but fall into his cadence. You know, yeah, Rudy, how you doing there, Rudy? I knew a guy named Rudy one time there in Toronto, you know. And then, of course, he'd go on 5 minutes later and do a corny punchline.
Everyone that meets you does an impression of you.
What?
You're one of those guys that you make such an impression on people that everyone that meets you does a Norm MacDonald.
I don't care for any of those impressions, by the way. You know how they say impressions are the highest form of flattery? Well, no, they say it's the highest form of flattery. Yeah. Anyways, imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a rare and special guy. He was a brilliant guy. He was a brilliant mathematician, actually.
Really?
Yes, in his younger days, and he got moved ahead in grades, like way advanced in grades, probably more than he wanted to.
Oh, wow.
Because he was like in high school at a very young age, and kind of felt a little, you know, out of it, because socially he certainly wasn't at that age, but he was so brilliant mathematically that he felt a little awkward socially being moved so far in advance.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But you can tell how brilliant he was, because that, you know, math figures into comedy.
And timing, right?
And you can tell that's what goes on with Norm.
Anyways, this is what I get. I do a perfect you. I go, all right, let's hear it. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I can do an impression of myself.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Hey. That's the impression.
I've never heard you say that. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Hey.
Sounds like you doing an impression of Brewer doing an impression of you.
Hey,
And come to think of it, I got addicted to you. Oh, no. And come to think of it, I need somebody like you. Oh, no. I need someone like you.
Any funny stories you'd like to share with us about you and
About Norm?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, he's passed. I don't think he'd mind this one. Norm loved to gamble, and there's no secret to that. And sometimes he'd go in on Sunday to the office there on SNL, and he lost a bet or something. I guess it's a big one. And he was really mad. And then he tried to stomp on a phone, and he wrenched his back. But he was so mad that he said he slowly pulled the phone apart to assuage his anger, but he did it really slowly because his back hurt so hard. Oh my goodness, Norm was one of a kind, that's for sure.
You definitely will be missed, absolutely.
Wait, are you gonna have Thanksgiving though? Thanksgiving's coming up.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. We're gonna have a lot of time. We're gonna go see my uncle. I saw my uncle the other day. Oh, my uncle, he's having troubles. Conan.
Why is he having trouble?
You know my uncle Basil?
I don't know him.
No, but I've talked to him before.
Yeah, you've mentioned him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's having troubles. His memory's not too good. You know, and it's not. Thank God, it's not Alzheimer's or anything like that. But when a guy gets old, he starts forgetting. His memory starts. He doesn't, remember.
Right.
So I went to him. I went and talked to him. And I said to him, because I heard he got this new medicine for his memory at the doctor's.
Yeah.
So I said to him, I said, Uncle Basil, I said, how's that memory stuff working out, medicine? He says, it's going good. I said, what's it called, that medicine, memory medicine?
The memory medicine, yeah.
I said, what's it called? What's the name of it? He goes, oh, the name of it. What is it now? Again, I can't remember now. He says, what's the name of that flower you give to people? And I said, I don't know. What, a tulip? And he said, no, not a tulip. He said, it's what is it now? It's a kind of a flower people wear. I said, is it a carnation? I don't know, Uncle Basil. He says, no, what the hell is it called? It's red. I said, I don't know, a rose? He said, yes. He said, Rose, what's the name of that medicine that the doctor gave me?
You rapscallion. Now listen, we want to talk about your uncle, because every time you come on the show, you have a story about your uncle who lives up in Canada.
Oh, yeah, he's a Frenchman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you always have like a little story about him.
Jean-Luc. Oh, yeah, he's a crazy character, that dude. He originally visited New York City. Hello?
I'm just having a drink. I can listen to you and have a drink. It's not like I went like this. Hold it. Ooh. Ah, liquid. Huh? I'm still here. Let's see if I got this right. You've got an uncle, lives up in Canada, named Jean-Luc.
Jean-Luc.
Occasionally he visits. Once time he visited New York.
So I'm living in New York, you know? And Jean-Luc, I'm excited. Jean-Luc's going to come by, my crazy Frenchman uncle. So he gets in the cab, right?
When he gets to the airport.
Yeah, when he gets to the airport, the cab driver picks him up, and the cab driver says to him, hey, Frenchman, he says, do you like riddles, you know? So my uncle Jean-Luc is like, yes, I love the riddles. That's how he talks. He goes, I like nothing better than a riddle. So the cabbie's like, all right, here's one, right? So he said, here's the riddle. His brothers and sisters, I have none, but this man's father is my father's son. So my uncle goes, I don't know. Right? So the cabbie goes, it's me. It's me.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Oh, he thinks about it. Oh, my God, he says, that's a good riddle there. He says, I have to tell my wife, Mary Claire, when I get back to Gaspé. That's where he lives, Gaspé.
Right.
So he's like, take me back to the airport. And the cabbie's like, what? Right? The cabbie's like, I thought you wanted to go visit Norm then. No. I have to go back to the airport. All right, you know, I have to tell Mary Claire. Seems odd, right?
Right.
Gets back on the plane, flies all the way back home there to Gaspé. And he gets back, right? Runs in the door. Mary Claire, where's vous? You know, where are you, Mary Claire? Come on down here. I have a riddle for you. She goes, oh, Jean-Luc, I love the riddle. She's a woman, high voice.
Michael Jackson was visiting. Yeah, all right.
So, you're going to love this riddle. How was New York? Forget about that. I got the riddle. Brothers and sisters, I have none. But this man's father, he is my father's son. She goes, I don't know. Who is it? Some cab driver back in New York.
You didn't mean to do that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Be honest, you didn't mean to do that.
At all. I just got to the end. That guy, man, I always tell my uncle, you shouldn't curse so much. You know?
Oh, man. All right. We're going to pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
Let me ask you quickly. We haven't talked to you in so long. I want to ask you about your family.
My great family. I love them all.
How's your... we used to talk in the old days. You and I used to spin some yarns about Uncle Hector. How's Uncle Hector?
Oh, Uncle Hector. Uncle Hector...
He's Polish, too, I'm guessing.
No, he wasn't Polish.
Oh, okay.
No, he was from my cousin's side of the family. And he was... he was a great man, my uncle, you know. Right. He was an old fella. He actually rode the rails during the Depression.
Oh.
You know, he was a hobo.
Hobo.
As you might call him. I don't like that term, but whatever.
Tramp or whatever,
Yeah,
what
he's a
have you.
tramp. railroad bum. And, but he wasn't a bum. He was just out. He was a good, honest man during the Depression, searching for work.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, he had no money, so he'd travel the country trying to find work, and he actually rode the rails. Uncle Hector, and he told me it was an interesting story. He'd go through. This was in Canada, and there's a town called Kitchener in Canada, and the railroad cops were tough, boy. They were tougher than real cops. You know, they had a law of their own. The railroad cops.
I feel like I should be tucked into bed listening to you. Anyway, a law of their own, those railroad cops.
But there was not a railroad cop tougher than Kitchener Leslie. Oh, boy. He was well known. He was well known for beating hobos to death.
Really?
Oh,
He'd find a hobo on his train, he'd beat him to death.
He'd beat him to death. And so what the railroad bums would all do is, as Kitchener approached, of course, oh, hey, hey, Norm, how you doing? So,
wow, such focus on these stories.
That wasn't a mirror, that was another guy.
Okay, oh, there's a guy named Norm.
Yeah. So the railroad bums would all hop off before they got to Kitchener to avoid being beaten to death by Kitchener Leslie.
Yeah.
Anyways, my Uncle Hector, a good man, you know, and he walked into a mine one day. This is a story for that they think the young people could learn from.
Don't go mine hopping, kids.
During the height of the Depression, where there was absolutely no work, my Uncle Hector walked into I won't say the name of the mining company. It was McIntyre Mine, and he walked in. He had his lunchbox with him and his work boots, and he said, "Sir," he said, "I want a job." And they said, "We have no jobs." He said, "Well, 500 people work here at McIntyre Mine." He goes, "I don't think there are 500 men here better than I." He says, "As a matter of fact, I don't think there are 200 men better than I." He says, I think you'd be strapped to find 100 men better than I." And by golly, he got the job. What do you think of that?
That's a great story.
Now,
I'm sensing there's more. Now back to Kitchener Leslie.
Yeah.
The most dreaded.
No. Uncle Hector.
What?
No.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to help you out.
No, Uncle Hector.
Dad, where's this story going?
Uncle Hector worked in a mine, and it's a hellish job, the mine, as you well know. Darkness, you know.
It's dank. It's
dank.
Yeah.
It's coaly. It's a lot of.
What?
Well, you're in a coal mine.
It's not coaly. It's coal-ridden.
It's
coal-infested. It's not coaly.
It's coal-infested. Yeah. So he worked in the mine, and by God, he worked hard. And after a week of working hard, he said to the shift manager, he said, He said, "By golly, I'd like to have a lady. I work hard, and where would I find a lady here in town?" Well, they said to Uncle Hector, they says, we have sex with animals here. By God, says Uncle Hector, I'm not going to do that. I'm a normal fella. Well, then be to your own devices then. So,
be to your own devices?
Yeah.
Wow.
Uncle Hector continued working in the mine. He worked hard, and he worked long, and he worked for a low wage. But he was a man. And Uncle Hector, after a couple of weeks passed, he started to get a little itch, you know, as you and I say.
Right.
You know,
Right. Well, when we're thinking about the
ladies,
yeah.
And but he kept it under control. He went again. And he said, "Are you sure there's no ladies here?" "No, we have sex with animals." Ah, my God. 6 months passed, and Uncle Hector couldn't take it any longer. He told me.
Right.
He said, "By God, I just had to. I'm just a man. I'm weak. You know. I'm not a saint. You know. And I was born in sin, I suppose, and I couldn't resist. I just needed it." So he said he walked by a pasture, and there was a pig.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
It's terrible. And so Uncle Hector said, well, he said, I walked up, and I began having sex with a pig. And he said, all of a sudden, he saw all the miners, like, around him, you know, looking at him. They go, "Uncle Hector, what the hell are you doing over there?" And Uncle Hector's like indignant. He's like, "What? Well, you're the guys that told me that you have sex with animals." They're like, "Uncle Hector, you damn fool. That's Kitchener Leslie's girlfriend." Of all the animals.
All the animals to have sex with.
You don't want to have sex
And not with Kitchener Leslie's pig. No, that's terrible.
Not Kitchener Leslie's pig. Kitchener Leslie's lady.
Oh, yeah. So you got a week off.
Yeah, I got a week off coming up. After this show, I got a week off, so it's going to be great.
Do you see your family much? Do you...
Every break, I like to go back and see my folks, you know, and also my uncles and aunts and all that, you know. They're great people. The old people, you know, what I find about the old people is...
Just in general.
In general, they had so much more interesting lives than we do, you know. Like, you know what I mean? Like we, you know, we go out, our generation, we go, okay, hey, let's go to a movie, and then we'll do the laundry and get some quarters for the laundry, and then we'll have read the Sports Illustrated, you know, and whatever, right?
Right.
But these guys, they had lives, you know? Where they, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. So anyways, for instance, my Uncle Phil. You ever meet my Uncle Phil?
I didn't meet your Uncle Phil, no.
Oh, you didn't? He was...
Yeah, we don't know each other that well. Remember?
That's true.
No,
So,
I've not met your Uncle Phil.
He's a good man, Uncle Phil. So he was telling me, you know, he's just one of these guys that has so many lives pushed into one. He just does so many things, you know? And he was telling me, he says, he's a kind of a jack of all trades, you'd call him.
Yeah. That's a good phrase.
Yeah, he's a jack of all trades. So he was telling me, he said, the problem is you're not really appreciated for any single thing because you're so good at so many things. You understand what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah. So he said to me one time, he says, Norm, he says, we were just walking through his town, you know, of Monkland, Maine he lives in. And we were just walking through the town. He's an old fella, you know?
Right, one of the old people.
Yeah, he's 80.
Yeah, 80, okay.
80 years young, he says. So he goes, Norm, you see that barn over there, he says to me. I look over, there's a barn. I go, yeah. He goes, I built that barn with my own hands, all by myself. But he goes, do they call me, do they say, there's Phil, the barn builder? No, sir, he says. I said, yeah. He goes, look over there, you see that weather balloon? He says, you don't know this about me, Norm. He says, I was one of the first men ever to fly in a weather balloon.
Wow.
He says, but do they say, hey, there goes Phil, the weather balloon pioneer? No. He says, look over there, there's a bakery that I started. You know, that dirty bastard Bob has it now, but I'm the guy that started that bakery. And I go, all right, easy. And he goes, I started that bakery and I was the best baker, but does anybody go, oh, there goes Phil, the great baker? No, he says, but he says, let me tell you something, Norm. He says, you have sex with one goat. And... He says, people then, they say, there goes Bill, the dirty goat.
Get rid of that. We don't need that microphone anymore, do we? Wow, well, I do want to meet this man someday. He sounds fascinating.
My dad would always tell this joke, and it was about a little boy called Dirty Johnny. You know, and he'd be in class. You ever heard Dirty Johnny?
The Dirty Johnny jokes, yes.
Heard the whole series. In this joke, he's not dirty. But anyways, the teacher has a thing. And the teacher says, today in class, we are going to have a little experiment. You're going to tell a story from your real life. And then afterwards, you are going to tell the moral of that story. You know? So Sheila puts up her hand, and the teacher says, Sheila, what's your story? So Sheila says, well, my dad works at the hatchery. And he took some eggs, and he put them all in a basket. All the eggs he put in one basket. And then he put them in the horse and buggy, and off we went to town. And the earth was uneven, and the eggs broke. And the teacher goes, well, that's an all right story, but I can't understand what the moral would be to that story. So Sheila says, well, the moral is, don't put all of your eggs into one basket. So the teacher says, well, by God, this is exactly what I'm looking for and what I was hoping for with this experiment.
Yeah.
And anybody else have one? So Marjorie puts up her hand. Okay, Marjorie, what's your story? Well, my father works for the hatchery. Most of us.
Most people in that town worked in the hatchery.
Worked at the hatchery.
Thank God for the hatchery, she says. Or where would we be? So she says, my father, he sells chickens. And he knows that eggs become chickens. See what I mean? So he had to count his chickens so he could go and sell them in town. So he had 9 chickens and 5 eggs. So instead of saying he had 9 chickens, he added the 5 eggs. You see, he counted them as chickens. So he said, I have 14 chickens. So he took them, Sheila says, and put them in the horse and buggy, and off they went to town, but the land was uneven. The chickens survived easily. They frolicked. The eggs broke. Well, the teacher says again, it's a story, you know. But what on earth could the moral of that story be? Well, Sheila says, if that's her name, I forgot. She says, don't count your chickens before they hatch out of the eggs.
Right.
Teacher says you could probably shorten it a little. So, but that's great. And that's exactly what we're looking for. And then she looks at the back of the class, and by God, there's the upraised hands, as you say, fucking dirty Johnny.
Fucking dirty Johnny. He's going to ruin the lesson.
So the teacher, inside of her head, her thoughts are moving around, and she's like, God, I don't want to hear dirty Johnny say it. This is going so well, but at the same time, I took a vow and I became a teacher that every student. All right, Johnny, let's hear your story. So Dirty Johnny gets up and he says, this is a story about my Uncle Terry. He didn't work for the hatchery. He didn't even like people that did. He was in Vietnam. And he lives on the disability checks he got. Uncle Terry was not a popular man, not even among those he worked with. And I suppose we've all heard of people who've deserted from their battalion. But I don't know if you've ever heard of a battalion deserting a man. That's what they did with Uncle Terry. One day, Uncle Terry awoke in the middle of Da Nang, and everybody was gone. He was alone, and they'd left him 3 bottles of Jack Daniels and some weaponry. So, Uncle Terry got up, says Dirty Johnny, and he downed the bottle of Jack Daniels in 2 slugs, and he threw it down and smashed it into the jungle. And then he walked, picked up the 2 Kalashnikovs and 3 or 4 Glocks and a couple of hand grenades, and off he walked into the unknown, the jungle, his fate. Came upon a village, and from the village came people. Now, were they Charlie, or were they the people that Terry was sent to protect from Charlie? Uncle Terry didn't know. But he knew he had to do something, so he took another swig from the bottle, and he let loose. Took that Kalashnikov, and he let it sway like a farmer would a scythe. And the bullets came, and just as hay would fall before a farmer, so the people fell before Uncle Terry. The men, the women, and by God, even the children. And finally, Uncle Terry stood alone in the mud and the blood and the guts and only at himself. He took a long swig, and his hand brushed against his pants, and he felt wetness, and then he felt shame because he realized he had urinated himself in fear. And then Upon closer inspection, he realized it was not urine. It's ejaculate. And his shame was replaced by pride. And the teacher goes, holy fucking shit, what the fuck? Fucking kind of fucking story is that? Like, we just heard the hatchery and shit, and now this? She goes, Uncle Terry, well, Dirty Johnny, what on earth could be the moral to such a story? So Johnny thinks about it for a couple of minutes, and he goes, well, I don't know, I guess. Well, I know one thing. You don't fuck with Terry when he's had some drink in him. And he's uncorked the jug. You stay away from Uncle Terry. And he doesn't like anybody that works at the hatchery either. You remember that. You tell your parents that.
Wow.
Where you've never had an acid flashback?
No, I've never had it. No, I never took acid. That was just a joke. I never took LSD.
Took it one time.
What happened?
I was at a Paul McCartney concert in Dallas because you know Paul McCartney just that says acid when you hear Paul McCartney music, songs like "Let 'Em In," and I was on a bus with the listeners, and this woman walked up to me. She goes, "Stick out your tongue," and I went like this, and she put this piece of paper on my tongue,
without knowing it.
and I didn't know anything was going on. And then
did she tell you?
No, yeah, she right after she put it on my tongue.
Know you were going. You didn't think you were going insane.
You just took acid. And then later in the tunnel of Texas Stadium, there was a woman holding a box of Starbursts, and I also had a box of Starbursts, and something in my head told me that those must also be my Starbursts. So I went up to a strange woman and said, those are my Starbursts.
Wow.
Like a crazy person. And then it lasted till like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
wallpaper was running down, and I had to call my girlfriend.
I'll be honest with you, I did it one time.
Well, why'd you lie?
Well, because I don't want people think I did LSD, but I did it one time, and so I laid down on my bed. I was just a young boy, and I looked up, and there was a hanging plant for some reason in my room.
No, there wasn't.
And in the plant came the face of Jesus. You know, the countenance of our Lord and Savior, Jesus, the pale Nazarene, suddenly showed up in my hanging plant. So I was like, oh, man. I was like, well, I'm on LSD. This must be like just a crazy trick of my eye, an optical, thing. And then I thought, wait a minute. What if it's just a coincidence that I'm on LSD and Jesus is showing up? That would be bad luck for me. You know what I mean? I get absolute proof he exists, and then I ignore it, thinking it was the
acid
effects of the acid. So then I'm in a quandary. I'm stuck in a quandary. I don't know if you guys have ever been stuck in a quandary. But
not while I'm on acid.
So, anyways, my quandary was it fixed itself because suddenly the face of Jesus morphed into the face of Trapper John M.D. You know that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's cool.
Which one, though? The one
Purnell
from
Roberts.
MASH?
Yeah,
Or,
Purnell Roberts.
The actor.
You must have seen it this morning.
I don't think you've ever seen MASH where they go, hey, Trapper John M.D.
That's true. That's true. You're right.
That's that must have freaked you out when our sports guy came in because he's got that white bearded
Oh, yeah, he
look.
looks like Trapper John M.D.
There's your flashback.
It's too weird when they have the character changes, like it's it's Wayne Rogers, and it's another guy, and you're like, what? He looks different. Like I remember one time as a little kid on Bewitched, suddenly Darren looked all different, because it was a different actor.
That's right.
But I was just a little kid.
But they were
so I
both
was
named
like,
Dick.
So I was like, yeah.
York and Sargent.
So I was like Dick York and Dick Sargent. But as a child, you see, I didn't know anything about Dick York or Dick Sargent or
What'd
Elizabeth
you think?
Montgomery. I thought of Darren Stevens and his wife, Elizabeth Stevens or whatever her name was. Sam Stevens.
Samantha Stevens.
So anyways, when I didn't know Dick York or Dick Sargent, all I knew was Darren Stevens. So when he suddenly changed appearance drastically, I thought, what's that Endora up to this time?
Oh, boy.
She was in Citizen Kane?
Yes, she was.
Yeah, she was in Citizen Kane. She always played,
Endora.
What about when you
Mrs.
get
Crab?
cast? It's tough when you get cast as an old bag.
Yeah.
And like when you're reading the script, or it even says old bag shows up. You're like, what's this mine? But like they had this show Jake and the Fat Man. So
who was
William Conrad?
William
who was,
Conrad.
You know, he was
Great
canon.
Bill Conrad.
Yeah, Bill Conrad. Beautiful man, I hear.
Great actor.
But he was canon. He was a big star, a big Quinn Martin star.
Quinn Martin production.
And so he, he was not a man to be trifled with. So if you're writing a script for somebody to be with, and you go, I would like to, maybe a William Conrad vehicle might propel me. Yeah, you might not want to write. You might not want to title it "Jake and the Fat Man," and then send it to William Conrad because William Conrad's like, "What the? I'm pretty sure I'm not Jake." And if I'm Jake, I don't want to be on the show at all because then it's really gross. But
I love the way your mind
Norm
works.
MacDonald tonight at Cap City and tomorrow night. And
All these observations and more.
467-2333. Thanks for being here, dude.
Thanks a lot. Listen, God bless in the name of the Pale Nazarene. What? And hey, what about this, man? You know how you're.
It's like the Energizer Bunny. I love that.
This lady told me this thing. If you're a Christian, you're kind of reviled nowadays in today's society. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're looked on as a joke, kind of. Bill Maher makes fun of you. But let's say you're a lady and you believe in astrology, right? Then suddenly everything's fine. Nobody thinks you're an idiot.
Paradise with your body, I don't wanna share. We're making dynamite, explosive love intentions building in the air.
Drugs, don't do them. Used to, when I was a boy, young, I'd do anything, LSD, I was about the strongest drug I ever did. Acid, I don't know if you ever done acid, but I remember when I was young and they'd tell me, they go, you gotta be careful with that acid on account of you can do it, and then you have a flashback, like 10 years could pass, 20 years could pass, and then you get a flashback. So I thought, well, that sounds like a good deal, And I went to my drug dealer, Frank. I said, Frank, is there a drug on the market where I pay you $5? I take the drug, I get high, and then 20 years later I get high again? And he said, yes. And I think of myself as somebody who is good at stretching his drug dollar. But the point of the whole thing is for me to tell you young folk that it's not true at all. Because I have not done LSD since I was a teenager. 10 years have passed, 20 years have passed. Sadly, 30 years have passed. And still, no flat. What a gyp that turned out to be. Just more horse shit by the big acid companies, if you ask me. I don't want to get too political, but if you think Big Acid cares about you, the little guy, they care about their third quarter profits. That's what they care about.
You said you'd rather play Frogger than have sex.
Oh, yeah, well, you have to know Frogger, it's a game. It's an arcade game where a little frog has to go across the river.
Yeah.
And they have, like, little logs that he has to, and sometimes the log's a crocodile and tries to eat him.
You're, like, totally into that?
Yeah, I like a lot of things better than sex. I don't care for sex that much.
See, that's the thing with me, too, because I'm totally bored. I don't have any, what's the matter?
Yeah. It hasn't, like, gotten better over the centuries, It's always the same thing. It's very, like, I had sex when I was young, man, and then I had it for a while, and then I realized it's kind of always the same thing, There's only a few things you can do. You can go like this and then over, you know what I mean? You go, I'll do this for a while, and then...
Do you think that we're being drugged by the government to lose interest in sex?
Oh, no, I just think it's a thing that... like, when people go, hey, that guy's he's good in bed, And to me, like, how hard is it? Right? It's not like if you're good in badminton or something, you know, that's a hard thing, badminton. You gotta, and Frogger, you know? But sex, you can figure it out in like 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah, and like goats do it and stuff. You know, like goats and pigs and stuff all do it, so how special can it be?
Exactly. Show me a goat that can get past the 3rd level of frog.
That's right, Nora. That's right.
You bring a girl home or a friend over, and there's no place for what?
I don't have sex with girls or men.
Wait a minute, Norm Macdonald. Norm, you're a sexy dude.
Yeah, but I don't have.
And you never go out trolling.
I mean,
or no
I have
girl.
had sex.
Well, I realize you're not a
kid.
virgin. You've got a kid.
No.
When's the last time you had sex?
Probably 10 years ago.
Shut up.
Yeah, I have sex. I have sex like by masturbating.
Yes.
Yeah, but I find sex very repetitive and dull and kind of pointless.
Your kid. This is a bit.
No, it's not.
Norm Macdonald.
I had a lot of sex when I was a young man. When I was 19 or 20, I had a lot of sex, and it's just the same thing over and over.
Right. It feels really good. So start from the beginning and do it again. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Is it too much work dealing
Eating
with
ice
a chick,
cream.
or?
Eating ice cream is really good too until you're tired of it. You know.
And the next day you try a different flavor. There's thousands of flavors of ice cream.
But not of women.
Do you go to hookers ever?
No, I've never been to a prostitute.
This attitude you have could be said for anything, though.
I know.
For
Anything
anything.
you do
For
more than once.
anything.
Yeah, well, I don't do very much.
You just don't like people in general.
Yeah, you hate people.
Or you hate women.
Oh, no, I'm fascinated by people and by women. I'm just saying I don't need to,
But don't chicks throw themselves? I would think that after a show, you're hilarious. And
well,
some
to tell
chick
you
is
the
like, listen,
truth,
I've always been fascinated.
To tell you the truth, I find sex to be a very filthy act.
Are you a germaphobe?
No, I don't mean
fluidophobe?
filthy. I mean filthy in the sense of shameful.
Really? Were you raised Catholic?
No.
Oh.
He's doing a bit.
No, I'm not doing a bit.
I find it really hard to believe you haven't had sex in 10 years.
I think I think that sex is shameful and that people have sex knowing that it's shameful. And again, it's like death. They just live in this fool's paradise where they pretend it's not. I mean, obviously, people don't have sex in public, so there must be some shame.
Some
to
people do.
But it's
because you don't want to be caught in that compromise. You know, you're not exactly at your most attractive when you're having sex. There's all these.
Well, there's social norms. You don't go to the bathroom in public either, but I'm not ashamed of that.
Exactly. What?
I'm not ashamed of going to the bathroom. It's part of taking in to stay alive. You have to evacuate. I'm not ashamed of that. That just comes with the territory.
Of course, and you have to ejaculate too. But I evacuate and ejaculate in private. I don't evacuate in front of another person.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So you're not ashamed of it. You do it in order to...
I am ashamed.
But he is ashamed of it.
That's why
what
I do
he's
it
saying.
alone. Do you evacuate in front of people?
No, but I'm saying
Why
I'm
do you
not
eject?
ashamed.
It's
just not polite. It's not
because
a social.
It's something that you share with somebody else. I mean, are you? Is it a fear of intimacy? Do you not let anybody too close?
No, I'm not afraid for them.
Now, what was this thing they did on Extra about you and Elle McPherson? You guys had an affair or something?
No, that was all nonsense.
Was it?
Yes,
yeah,
because
sure.
he's a married man.
You know,
right.
She came to the show, and she's like very flirtatious to everybody.
Right.
So then somebody started this crazy idea that.
And she's very bright, so you get attracted to a very smart woman who's good looking, right?
She's bright?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No, right. So you're saying that Elle Macpherson was on the show as a guest. She's a gorgeous woman. She's beautiful.
Well, yeah, I guess, but I don't have like, I'm not like you. I don't have like a real high sex drive.
Right. You don't really?
No, not at all.
Well, that's something to advertise.
Yeah. she was flirtatious, and were you like sort of being flirtatious with her? You had to be attracted to her.
No, I wasn't attracted.
At all.
I'm not attracted to like girls that much. I used to be when I was young.
And you're not gay? Maybe those pain pellets were telling you something, pal. I'm telling you right now.
No, when I was young, I used to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're still a young guy.
You do have sex with your wife, don't you?
Yeah, I have sex with my wife. Yeah.
How often? Like once a week?
Well, the thing is, like with my wife, we have sex because we know exactly what to do with each other. But if I was with somebody else, I'd have to, you know.
I don't believe this for a minute.
No, I'm serious.
I've never met a guy who said this.
But how often do you have sex with your wife?
I've never met a guy who says your sex life doesn't, your sex drive doesn't, you don't have a low sex drive.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
Does he masturbate?
Do you masturbate?
Oh, yeah.
You do. So then you have a high sex drive.
For myself.
No. So when Elle Macpherson is running around in a little short skirt and she's looking gorgeous, don't tell me you're not thinking about doing her. And don't, I mean,
no,
you are.
I swear to God, I'm not. I think,
really?
No, I've been to the doctor about this.
Really?
Yeah,
You've gone to a psychiatrist?
No, a physical doctor.
Because you're saying, hey, I don't get aroused that much.
A urologist. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
but wait a second. Mentally, you get aroused, right?
Is he having trouble?
Are you having trouble getting aroused? I'm telling you, you're gay.
No.
Wait a second. You're telling me.
No, I can masturbate as much as anybody.
Okay. No, not as much as me. Believe me, don't take that challenge.
He has more free time, I bet.
Wait, Norm, I don't understand something.
What?
You went to a doctor, you said, hey, what's with me? I'm around Elle Macpherson and I'm not getting aroused.
No, I didn't mention her.
Yeah, but and you start to get concerned that, hey, why am I not getting aroused around these beautiful women?
Yeah, because I used to always get aroused all the time, no matter what. Like I could see a giant fat woman, like part of her ass.
Right, and you get excited by that.
Yeah.
Are you on medication of any kind?
No. I just, now I'm just...
Do you need that testosterone patch or something?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, it makes you more masculine. You know what I mean?
But then your hair falls out.
Yeah, you got to be careful about that.
Yeah.
Wait, explain something to me.
What's
that?
You
putting me on or you being serious?
No, I'm serious.
You're being serious.
It's hard to tell him.
You're saying, no, I think he's a straight ahead kind of guy.
No, I'm serious.
You know, I mean, I've only met Norm once, but...
I would love to talk to the doctor.
Right. Well, actually, I met you twice. I met you backstage at Letterman, too. So, you're telling me, let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You got concerned because you're around a lot of beautiful women and suddenly you weren't getting as many erections as you used to.
Right.
You go to the doctor, he checks out your weenie.
Oh, he checked out my prostate.
Right. And was anything wrong?
Was anything wrong? The only wrong thing,
yeah. Well, no, really, there was nothing wrong.
Nothing. He said, like, can you masturbate?
Same thing we asked.
Yeah, so I go, yeah, sure, I like doing that.
Right, so, and your wife and you have sex, what, once a week? I have sex.
Wait a minute. So, Norm, what do you think about?
What?
When you're masturbating?
What do you think about?
Well, you know, like...
Fat woman's ass? No. Like, who do you think? Did you ever think about Elle Macpherson?
No.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Who do you think about?
I don't think
girls
about...
you just met.
I'll tell you something. I can't think about, like, girls that I don't think I could have sex with, because I don't have that good an imagination.
Right, it's got to be someone you think you can get.
Right,
That's how I am. Right. So
sometimes I think of like kind of unattractive girls where I'm
right when you're doing stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that too though.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like one of the interns here or something I'll think about because I think that like I could definitely get her. You ever think about Rosie O'Donnell when you're doing it?
Good Lord.
No way, right?
Name some names.
Yeah, name some names of who you think about.
You know what Rosie O'Donnell would be good at giving?
What?
Really wide head.
Oh, that's funny. Does Rosie O'Donnell have the biggest head on the planet?
Yeah,
she really does. How much does her head weigh? Do you take a guess?
About her head weight?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that age-old argument, I'm not going to get into.
You're not even going to get into it. Yeah. I see. And she's on the new $100 bill. Did you see her picture? It's pretty wild. Wait a second. Now, this is fascinating because I don't know that much about you.
No.
Who does he think about? That's what.
See, I'm old. You know, I'm like 33 years old.
Oh, that's real old.
I'm 42, dude.
Yeah, well,
I mean, gee, I didn't know you were. That's young.
But it's still fun, you know. I like having sex with
33,
my wife.
and how many times a week do you have sex with your wife? Be honest.
My wife's very beautiful.
Is she?
Yeah.
How did you get her before you were famous? Was it a difficult thing?
I don't know. I was just a nice guy.
Are you really charming?
No.
Because you're a good-looking guy.
I'm not charming, but
Right.
I'm just, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
And then she didn't know what she was doing, so, we just...
You got married, like most people. And you got married, and she's good-looking. She have a nice body and everything?
Yeah, she's very pretty.
And so what do you get her, like 2 times a week?
What's that?
What do you get her, 2 times a week?
Get her.
Yeah, get her. Come on, man. You're not that old that you don't know what that means.
2 times a week's a little much.
That's a lot. See, you're like me.
Yeah.
And it happens once a week. So I'm laying in bed with my wife yesterday, and I said to her, let's have some sex. She said, Saturday night I'll come visit you at the movie, and we'll have sex there.
Really?
Yeah.
She's waiting to come visit you.
It's Saturday night. Saturday night is when I get sex. Then I watch you.
That's like Archie Bunker or something.
I usually get it at 11 o'clock, and by 11:30 we're good and we're all cleaned up. We're laying in bed and we're watching Saturday Night Live. That's it. Yeah.
So you have like specific days.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Oh, so you do it spontaneously
But
once
every
a week.
3rd year.
Right, so you might actually, you don't know when it's going to happen. Boy, that's exciting.
It could happen anytime.
Yeah, wait another couple of years. You'll be down to a Saturday night. Does your wife at least let you go everywhere by yourself, or do you have to accompany her everywhere? Like after the show, when you go to this diner, do you have to go with your wife, or do you go by yourself?
My wife lives in Los Angeles.
Oh, she does?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great marriage.
Yeah. Well, I go back to Los Angeles. I'm only here, like, when I do the show.
Oh, really? But don't you have to be here to write and stuff?
Yeah, but that's only 20 weeks a year, and then the rest of the time I'm with my wife and kid.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Also, you get a nice little break. So you were here alone, and Elle McPherson's coming on to you, and you had a little affair with her.
Good Lord, no.
I don't know, man.
No.
You know, he's setting himself up as a challenge, saying it's hard to get him aroused.
Women like
Do you hope each week for an ugly female co-host on Saturday Night Live so that you don't have to fall in love with her? Oh, man. What a...
Barbara Walters is planning to announce her retirement. What's next for Babs? Death.
The old Norm MacDonald is back.
You know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to watch The fucking View.
The View?
That's what I'm going to do.
How dare you? How dare
That's
you?
where I'm going to get my humor from.
You told me you didn't like The View.
But I'm watching it tomorrow.
You told me you didn't like it.
I never told you that.
Oh, you like
I told you they're my favorite of all time.
Oh.
What's your dream view?
You mean
the show, The View?
Yeah.
The
Who would
guests?
what 4 or 5 ladies would you want on there?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Susan Yegwood. That's your wife. You didn't even recognize her name. It's your betrothed.
My betrothed. No, I recognize her name.
No, I would like to see. Who do I like on that show?
That's good coffee.
I'm a fan of The View because Sherry Shepherd is a good friend of mine.
Sure.
And I've been on The View a lot, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because I'm on The View. Daphne Aguilera was on The View.
Oh, really?
Did Daphne Aguilera, he didn't rub your cock on my...
Okay, come on. This is what we're trying to get away from.
Sorry. And by the way, every time I'm on The View, Barbara Walters will not be on The View.
Is that right?
Yeah, she won't be on it with me. And it has to be the pre-taped one.
Filthy old bag.
That's 4 or 5 sidekicks.
I don't like her.
Why not?
Barbara Walters?
Yeah.
Because they're like, she's retiring. She did everything for journalism. To me, she was horrible. She just started this whole celebrity journalism thing.
Yeah, but she had the Barbara Walters hour.
What was that?
Before the Oscars, she would interview.
Oh, yeah.
The 10 most fascinating people. And Barbara Walters never listens to me. I have to talk to Sherry Shepherd. Fortunately, we share views on dinosaurs. But I can never get that lady, the old lady. How do you have a person on a show that believes the Earth is flat and men lived with dinosaurs, and you keep them on the show?
But
come on.
Oh well, that I agree. You know what I say? Someone goes. My brother once said, "Well, you have to have the opposing view. Like if I had a show, would I have someone on the panel that had the opposing view?" I go, "No.
Yeah.
You fucking bring it in on a satellite and you talk to them for 3 minutes, and then you fucking
ignore it. They're losing a couple people from The View, though. I think they're losing Elizabeth Hasselbeck and Joy Behar.
No, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, there was a rumor.
Oh, there was just a rumor?
Yeah, that was
thank God.
That was urban legend.
You checked Snopes on that? So here now we tell jokes. Now you think you don't tell jokes, but wait till
I can read them.
You can read them.
Oh, I saw one in the bathroom. I went to use the bathroom.
Oh, I threw some in the garbage. Don't tell people that.
That you threw all the racist ones. The one I remember was The View.
Wait, I don't want to do View jokes.
What
Because if you start a battle with Joy Behar, you're not going to win. No, you'll win easily. But read this one. read this one. Read this too. It should remind you you're like drunk aunt, like Joy Behar. Joy Behar reminds me of an older person in my family that's funny around the table.
They're virtually what she is. Yeah.
You know how old Joy Behar is?
Well, I don't think she wants you to tell everybody.
It's in her Wikipedia.
Oh, she's, I think, a lot older than
70.
I thought. Yeah.
That sounds,
she looks great.
That sounds about right to me.
70?
No, I didn't think of her as 70.
Jesus Christ almighty, when did she break? 50?
I like her.
I like her too. She reminds me, she reminds me of like your old aunt or something.
Yeah.
With her funny opinions. You know what I mean? The View is a bunch of fucking, what kind of henhouse horse shit is that?
I like The View.
You probably are afraid of Joy Behar, aren't you?
Who wouldn't be?
She's a little bit of a firecracker.
Terrifying.
She's funny.
Yeah. She reminds me of like your aunt that tells jokes at the fucking Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna go get that joke because the way they wrote it was pretty funny. Barbara Walters announced that she's retiring from The View. Well, actually, she announced it 5 years ago, but no one could hear her over those yammering bitches. See?
Amazing that worked after that giant building.
And Barbara Walters is never leaving. She's 83 and she had chicken pox. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you love to see her chicken pox?
No.
No? At 83 at night in a negligee coming out of the bathroom?
Wouldn't she get shingles then?
No. If you get chicken pox, you can get shingles.
Yeah.
But she hasn't gotten them yet.
Yeah.
What a group that is.
Oh my God. I heard she got.
Told me that we should go our separate ways, but now it's my life without.
Hey, Barbara Walters is retiring.
I can understand why Barbara Walters is retiring. It must be exhausting occasionally appearing on The View.
Right? We're fucking going on the road doing all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
doing her shit acts. Not you. Your act's good.
It's pretty shitty.
But she gets to sit there
and just fucking talk.
Yeah, just yap.
The fuck.
You ever been on that show?
I've been on it so many times.
Great. What was your father's favorite joke?
My father's favorite joke?
Yep.
Well, he had a joke, roses are gray, violets are gray, tulips are gray, because I am a dog.
Thank you. That was close.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Have a favorite quick joke of your dad's?
Sometimes he would go, try to think of the guy's name. He'd go, there's a fella named, what was his name? I go, it doesn't matter. So he goes, a fella, Bill, and he couldn't remember. So he went to the doctor to get memory pills, and they worked. And then his friend come over, Elmer, he says, what were those memory pills you got? I want to get them. What are they called? Oh, Elmer says, I can't remember. He says, what's the name of that flower? The other guy goes, I don't know, there's lots of flowers. A tulip? No, Elmer says, that's not it. It's, you put it in a carnation. No, Elmer says, that's not it. Long-stemmed, romantic flower. Oh, a rose. Yes, Elmer says. Rose. What was the name of that medication the doctor gave me? You want to hear my dad's favorite joke?
Yeah.
He says he was from the farm, and he says a guy comes from the city. City slicker comes and he buys a farm, and the farmer next door comes over to him and says, "Hey, now, would you like to come over to my house tonight? We're going to have a big shindig for you because we're neighborly here." And the city guy said, "Well, this is something that's I really like, that this is why I moved to the farm to have things like this, Guy says it'll be a hell of a big party, He goes, it'll be, a little drinking, a little fighting, a little fucking, And the city guy goes, well, that sounds good. What time should I be here? And the farmer goes, anytime you like, just the two of us. So they would drink, then get in a fight, and then fuck.
It's your dad's favorite joke.
That was my dad's favorite joke.
Connected to our senses.
Okay, Mike. Mike is in Canada. Mike, do you have a question for Norm?
I do. Norm, so you have like a laundry list of impressions that you do. What would be your personal favorites and why? And do you think you could do a little bit?
Good question.
I
can do Richard Farnsworth is my favorite guy to do.
Yeah? It's your favorite one?
Yeah, Richard Farnsworth.
Wait, who's Richard Farnsworth in that?
Is an actor.
Yeah, from
The Straight Story and The Grey Wolf.
Oh yeah, Richard Farnsworth. Okay, yeah. Here's a Richard Wait, don't get rid of him. You just got to see the impression. Yeah.
He goes, when I was in the Army, they made me the gunner because I was a good shooter down in Mississippi. I didn't know too much about it, but I would shoot. We had a scout, his name was Jim, and he was a prize fighter, and that's why they made him a scout, because he was fast. Well, one time he got trapped behind enemy lines, and he come back, and I saw something move, and I shot. And I saw something move again, and I shot, and then it stopped moving. The next day, they found old Ed, and everybody thought the Germans did it, and the people thought the Germans did it. Everybody thought they did it, except for me. That's it.
I love that impression. Yeah, Richard Farnsworth, ladies and gentlemen. It's like he was it was like he was sitting right here.
Yeah, there's not a lot of money in it. Let's be honest.
Now I was watching.
I couldn't sell it to Frank Caliendo.
Is it really my fault? 'Cause you try to hit me with your pity till I can't trust, but I still push on. Got me changing my ways, trying to fix it.
Everyone in the unit thought a German sniper had taken him. Everyone, all these years, everyone but me.
The only time it seems you ever survive a airplane crash is if you crash into the Andes, and that's even worse because you have to fight with the moral quandary of cannibalism, which I am against, by the way. If you know anything about my work, you will know my tireless devotion to the anti-cannibalism cause. But I'm not going to use this as a bully pulpit. Most of you are adults, and you've cemented your views on cannibalism. I like to go for the kids, the young people. I go all across this great country, and I go to the schools, and I talk to the children, and I tell them, I go, listen, you might think it's cool to eat your buddy in algebra class, and I'm not going to lie to you, you will be the talk of the school for a few years, but what about the future? What about the future, I tell them. Here's the problem with crashing in the Andes and having to resort to cannibalism is they take so long to decide, you know what I mean? They go, oh, I don't want to eat a guy. Oh, I can't do it, And I can't eat the co-pilot. Can't do it, And then days go by. I go, hey, maybe we should eat the co-pilot, And finally, they're maddened by hunger, and then they just attack. And they got co-pilot blood all over them, co-pilot viscera falling out of their mouth on their pink shirts, And that's no way to eat. You can't gorge. Any dietitian will tell you. You cannot gorge. The thing to do is graze. That's the right way to eat, You wake up, you have a small meal of co-pilot. Then, around lunchtime, you have a small meal of co-pilot. Then, around, I think about 6 times during the whole day, you have a small portion of co-pilot. Any dietitian will tell you, I tell you. Not that I'm a dietitian, I don't pretend to be a dietitian. Well, sometimes I do, but it's only to get the ladies, you know, the big fat ladies. I go up, I go, hey, you want to go on a diet on account I'm a dietitian, and then they leave with me. Sometimes. Sometimes they just get angry, you know. I don't know. But I don't even know what I was talking about. Weren't we talking about slut shaming? I don't know. Nobody knows anymore. Oh, I know. Yes, the airplane. Yes. You know, this is the thing. You got to be ready for anything life throws you in this here world. That's what I've learned as I've aged, you know? And I'm ready. Like cannibalism, I know what I would do in the Andes on account of I've thought it over. I've thought over my position. You see what I mean? Like I flew in from Vegas, I remember one time, and there was some turbulence. And I was like, I'm eating that fucker in 14 years. The thing is, you got to be ready. You know, you got to be ready for anything this world throws at you. You know, and you know, and I am. You know, like I remember one time I was flying from Vegas to L.A. and there was a little turbulence, and I remember I said I'm gonna eat that fucker in 14A. Ooh, that guy looked delicious. Big fat guy.
I need your love. You free my mind. I need your love. Yeah, you free my mind. We could be miles away and still in line.
We had a gay athlete.
Yes.
Admit he was gay. First team athlete in the history of American sport.
Jason
What do you
Collins.
make of
Yeah.
that, Jason Collins?
I tweeted, I salute that. I think that's tremendous. I think it's about time. There should as gay athletes in all these sports, and maybe that'll pave the way to come out. I don't think it's going to be a big deal problem. You got to be good. He's a good player.
Yeah.
I don't think you could be just, you know, if you're really good, like if Derek Jeter said he was gay, what are the Yankees going to do? They're going to get mad at him? Yankee fans are going to boo?
Yeah. I don't think so.
By the way,
I
did you see
think-
42?
But,
The
oh, I
Jackie
never
Robinson?
miss a
What a movie, Jackie Robinson.
Jake Bozeman movie.
No,
I can't remember the guy's name.
Harrison Ford.
Oh, he was
Steals-
amazing.
He's amazing. It's
Amazing.
a great movie.
But there was a guy who he came out as a black guy.
Yeah. Oh, he was black. He couldn't do anything about it.
Well, how do you think this guy Collins that's coming out gay? And they're saying he's brave and stuff, but to me, he's smart.
Why no?
It seems like a not cynical, but maybe a calculated move because he's going to be
Famous.
world famous forever. The first
Well, he's
guy.
on Good Morning America tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's it's calculated, but the problem you face is you don't know what the other guy. You know, they're going to take showers with you. They're going to. That's the fear. But look, the Army's got it. They couldn't do it every day. I don't think. Can he score a basket? Can he play the game?
No.
Well, then
No,
he's in trouble.
He's definitely good.
And if on the first day he would attack a fellow athlete, that might not look good.
And it's interesting that he came out the day after the fifth game when they could have been swept, the Celtics. And
No,
then
but he's not on the Celtics.
Oh,
No,
he's
on
not?
the Wizards.
He's on New Orleans.
Oh, is he?
No, New Orleans.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He
Oh, I
was
didn't
on the
know that.
Celtics.
Oh,
He
he
was
w-
on the Wizards.
Oh, he was on the
He's a 10-year veteran. He's 6'10",
right?
And his twin brother, identical twin,
Jaron,
is,
yeah.
is not gay.
Dave.
I was going to say, I thought he was going to
Well,
say
you
he
know,
was
because we're
5'4".
trying to figure out the gay chromosome.
You are? You and Sean?
Do we know why people are gay? You don't know. Do you know why you're heterosexual? You don't know why.
No, I don't know. But I think this is the thing, Larry. If they define a chromosome as
Or a
saying
gene,
that
yeah.
you're gay or a gene, that would be abnormal. How would the gay community...
It wouldn't be called abnormal. It would be called different. It wouldn't be called abnormal.
Wow.
Maybe the abnormal gene would be hetero.
That's true. Hey, maybe the normal gene would be those
Maybe it
ladies
would be
that
normal to be gay.
cut their cocks into vaginas.
No, if you're looking to make it in standard television, you're not going the right route. You're not going the right route here.
Once I get on Hulu.
You're not sending this tape to CBS, are you?
No, once I get on Hulu, the whole act changes. No.
We hate the most.
Tell a joke now to Larry. Maybe he'll use it in his act.
All right, so there's two gay guys talking.
No, it doesn't have to be gay guys again, does it?
No, it's really not that bad.
On
It's
the
not.
date at
It's
the
not
bar at the
insulting.
Celtics?
No. There's two gay guys. They're playing hide and seek, and
No,
and
we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that joke. We're not going to do that joke.
He was the handsomest man in the world.
Who's this?
Paul Newman.
Oh, wasn't he though?
Just throwing that in as an aside. I keep a picture of Paul Newman in my living room.
Oh.
That was signed to me.
Uh-huh.
And he wrote to the judge. If only you were the judge on my DUI.
You do a lot of work for charity, Norman, in the sense that you'll go on TV shows for charity. You did, didn't you do Celebrity Millionaire or something like that?
Yeah.
And how did you do on that? Did you win money?
Yeah.
You
no,
did.
I did. The celebrity, the charities did.
You're not the celebrity?
The charities did.
But you were the celebrity on Millionaire.
Yeah. Do you remember leukemia?
Yeah.
My money that pushed it over doesn't exist anymore.
You got rid of it.
I got rid of it.
No, you went on Millionaire with Regis, right?
Yeah.
And Regis asked you questions.
Yeah.
And then you answered up to, do I have this right? $500,000 worth of questions. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he won $500,000.
Brainiac.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty smart. 500,000 to get up to. That's pretty good.
Norm's a smart motherfucker.
But I'm not anywhere close to Brainiac.
Well, Brainiac, of course, was invented on Krypton. He's a supercomputer. But
Yeah.
I don't say literally.
I was saying, you're comparing me. That's high praise. Because Brainiac, you could tell even from his head how smart he was.
And he had tubes coming out of his head.
I don't know.
Norm picked Paul Newman's charity because Norm wanted to meet Paul Newman.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
So you gave to his salad dressing empire kind
and
of thing?
also, it is a great
The hole in
cause.
the wall.
The hole in the
kids
wall
or
game.
How long ago was this? A couple of years ago?
Yeah.
So Paul Newman was
26 years ago.
So did Paul Newman call you personally and say to you, "Hey"?
No, he wrote a letter.
Did he?
Yeah.
Look at you, $500,000 contribution.
Yeah, and I could have gone to meet him, but then I was too afraid.
What do you mean you were afraid?
Well, you know, and like it seems like a good idea, but then when it comes down to it, it's just you and Paul Newman.
Yeah, you don't know what
in
to
a
say.
room. Yeah, and then you got no stories. Like, what am I gonna say?
Paul
Hey
Newman-
man, one time Will Ferrell was.
Rob Schneider and Football Williams. I'm sure
Rob
you'd love
Schneider.
that.
You know him at all? Do you know anyone that I'm talking about?
Are you?
Do you know any entertainers I know?
That was a great story about you and Redford.
Yeah.
Listen, me and Artie Lang.
In other words.
So that was Robert Shaw, huh? Hey, fucking Bud Friedman's backstage with me. This guy's a character.
What you're saying is Paul Newman wrote you a letter and said, "Why don't you come out to my Paul Newman ranch?
Yeah.
And hang out with me."
Yeah.
So
but
I can
plus,
get to know
I
you.
kind of got the assumption that it would not be just me and Paul Newman. I suddenly had a fucking vision that it might be me, Paul Newman, and very sick children.
Oh, God.
So then it didn't become as appealing.
Well, you know what? Gary actually went to Paul Newman's house. Papa Booey went to Paul
He did?
Newman's. Yes. He was there for some charity event.
Oh, not to
I think
harass him.
it was a political thing.
A political thing. And Gary was in the barn. Paul Newman has a barn on his property.
Yeah.
And if he wants to meet with you, he meets with you in the barn where he has all his memorabilia from his, well, now he's dead, but he had all his memorabilia in the barn.
Gary, go to the barn.
You walk around and it's almost like a Paul Newman museum. You see pictures, you see trophies, you see Academy Award, whatever. And then Paul Newman appears at the barn, and he speaks with you, and then he leaves. And that would have been it. I'm sure he wouldn't have hung
Oh, that
out with
would have
you.
been it. Oh, that's
Yeah.
his shtick he does. It's
I
his
think it's a
meet
shtick.
and greet.
It's a meet and
It's
greet.
like Artie backstage at an Indian casino. I was going to be Martin Short's friend for a while. We were in negotiations.
Yeah, how'd that break down?
I don't know. I met him. He was fucking funny, and he made me laugh, and he was laughing at me and shit. So I said, "Hey, we should be friends and stuff." And he said, "Yeah, well, let's be friends. You go to a cottage." And I was like, "Ah, fuck! I'd have to go to a cottage, you know." And then so it never caught on because the cottage was in my head and shit.
What do you
but
mean
still,
the
I would have
cottage?
liked, you know, that guy would be cool to
I
fucking
know.
hang out
But
with.
what do you
I
mean
met him.
that
He's
would be a good
hilarious.
friend
But then
for you?
going to a cottage, you understand?
I don't want to go to a cottage.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem
All of
with
a
you.
sudden, you're going on a cottage on a plane.
But that's
You
the
go,
problem.
Maybe I
Norm,
shouldn't have done this.
Norm,
What?
that's the problem
What's
with
that?
you. So if someone suggests something right away, it's not
Too guarded. I know what you're
it's
saying.
not too. It's not cool enough for you. Where would
They're
you
not
go
cool
with Martin
enough.
Short?
I think
Martin Short says, "Let's go to a cottage
No, I'm
and
not
hang
saying
out."
that. I'm
Yeah.
saying like I think you're right when I said I'm too guarded. Like
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
don't wanna
willing
be-
to do things.
You don't want to be trapped in a cottage with Martin Short. The
I would
idea,
no, I'd love
the
that
idea
part.
of being friends with Martin Short is fun. The idea of being in a cottage with Martin Short and then having the pressure to talk and to interact with one another.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work out for you.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work out for me either.
But you go on that vacation.
But maybe in
with,
another lifetime.
Yeah.
Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite movie of all time. And The Hustler. Is obviously, Paul Newman is my favorite actor. So I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Paul Newman. Yeah, Paul Newman is my favorite actor.
Yeah.
He's the coolest guy to me. And he had the coolest life.
Right.
Like when he was 50, he didn't drive race cars till he was 50.
Mm.
And then he became like a top-rated amateur race
Oh, he
car
won
driver.
races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And he left Hollywood.
Incredible. And he left Hollywood?
He's just like, I'm done.
He was, even though he was super handsome, he just had his wife, Joanne Woodward.
Yeah.
And he was, by all accounts, monogamous and lived a private life. And then he did all this amazing Newman's Own, all this amazing charity work for sick kids. And so, so he has a life that...
Butch Cassidy's up there.
Yeah,
It's one
Butch
of the top
Cassidy,
movies of all time.
The Verdict. Like you think of all the movies he's done that are classics,
Right.
Yeah, Butch Cassidy, I loved. Who are those guys? Where he kept saying,
Yeah. Where they're up in the
Who are
mountains.
those
Who are these guys?
Beginning to get on my nerves. Who are those guys?
Yeah, that had a lot of comedy in it.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a funny, even when he got older, there was a movie called Nobody's Fool where he played like a kind of an old guy that was like he could get girls, and he drank. He wasn't a good father, he was like one of those guys that everybody knows, in real life. Everybody knows a guy that's like 55 and still goes to bars and and drinks and gets laid and doesn't grow up.
Yeah.
And so that was also a great movie. He's just had and I like that he and The Sting. I mean, there's so many movies.
Sting. And talk about a guy who picks good projects.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 60% of having a career like that.
Yeah.
Good to see you, my friend.
You too, pal. Yeah. How the fuck do you get $4 million? Where's that go? How the fuck do you get that?
You got to blow a lot of dudes. No, here's how you get it. You sell a whole bunch of your other cars that you bought over the course of the last decade.
Right.
So that you can raise the money for the one car. So it's like sell 5 or 6 cars to raise some of the money for the one car.
So is this like, you love this car?
I did a documentary about Paul Newman racing, and this is the car he drove at Le Mans. So, which is a big deal.
Did you meet Paul Newman?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, sad, right?
He invited me to, because I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
And that was my charity, right? And so I won $500,000. And
Hole in the Wall gang?
Hole in the Wall gang.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell them. So they just got a check for
$500,000.
$500,000.
Should have got $1 million.
So then, yeah.
I want to get into that.
So then, they keep sending me they want more money. Like they think
it's like an alumni association.
they think I'm a guy with $500,000 every fucking year. So I'm like, no, I don't have $500,000.
Yeah, this Norm MacDonald, he must be some sort of shipping magnate or something.
Exactly.
I've never heard of him, but he evidently has very deep pockets and loves homeless children, so we should just keep hitting him up for money.
That's exactly it. He was going to meet me, so he's my hero. I love that.
Newman's your hero?
Well, I love all his movies, and I love how he's conducted his life.
Oh, boy, do I have a documentary for you.
Really?
Yeah.
The one you made?
Yeah, it's all about his racing life.
Oh, that's awesome, because, I love that, I don't know how old he was, but he was 40 or something. You know, he was, when he started racing.
Yeah, late 40s.
Became one of the best
four-time
amateur
national
drivers.
champion.
Amazing.
I got 2 of his championship cars 100 feet from here.
And he's by all evidence, he was monogamous with Joanne Woodward. You know, he wasn't a player when he was the most handsome guy ever. You know what I mean?
You know what's weird? I just thought about Norm. I think you might appreciate this conceptually. We appreciate 2 dudes. We appreciate the guy who's been faithful to his wife for 47 years and never looked the other way with all the trappings of Hollywood. Yeah. And we then thus also worship at the altar of the guy who fucked everything that wasn't nailed down. Like, boy, that guy was serious cocksman. I mean, boy, he fucked everyone. We don't, but when someone goes, he fucked like 8 chicks over the course of 40 years, we go, I don't know about him.
Well, you know, it's like if a guy,
it's feast or famine in the fucking department.
It's like if a
one
guy,
chick or 180.
If a guy gets divorced twice, he's kind of a loser. But if he gets divorced 9 times, he's a character.
Oh,
you know?
ladies, man. Yeah, hide the daughters when he comes into town.
This I heard Larry King say to a guy once. The guy had lost his child. Oh, no. And Larry King goes, Paul Newman told me, you never get over it. It's like some unfeeling psychotic.
Everybody lies, right? You gotta lie there, but you ever lie for no reason? That's a bad lie there. You know, usually there's a reason, like you want to protect somebody's feelings or, you know, screw over your buddy or something like that, but you ever lie for no reason at all, just all of a sudden a big lie spills out of your evil head there, you know? And you don't even know, like a guy comes up to you and go, hey, you ever see that movie with Meryl Streep and a horse? And you go, yes. And in the back of your head, you go, what the hell am I lying about over here? I stand to gain nothing by this lie. The hell am I thinking back here in my head? I don't know, man.
You know, Norm's one of those guys, he'll write something, it's a really funny joke, but also let you realize he's a sick fucker. You know, it's like he said, you ever find yourself, it's one of his Norm's bits, so I just thought like, I fell off my chair, and he said, you ever find yourself lying, telling a lie, and you're halfway through, you realize, wait a minute. There's no possible way I could benefit from this lie. Why am I lying? Saying, hey, did you see Avatar? Yeah. To me, that's just a monster.
Yeah.
You know, that's a twisted mind.
Yeah, he's
And my favorite thing about Norm is that he will just flat out lie. Just for his own entertainment, he'll just tell you a story that has never happened. He's completely making things up.
I was with
he does
Larry
it all the
Flint
time.
at the White House.
Yeah.
And he
Something
said,
like that.
I'll hook you up. Now, if my uncle from the plains of Ontario said, I'll hook you up, he'd probably get you a nice mincemeat pie. But when Larry Flint says it, something dirty.
Best.
Truly one of the best.
Is the First Lady a compulsive liar, though? It's beginning to look that way. In an interview on last night's 2020, intended to promote her new book, It Takes a Village, Mrs. Clinton folded under tough questioning by Barbara Walters and admitted that, in fact, it does not take a village, and furthermore, that she was aware that it does not take a village when she wrote the damn book. Meanwhile, President Clinton is hard at work on Tuesday's State of the Union address, in which he'll focus on crime, education, and the economy. At the request of the First Lady, part of the President's speech will be huge lies. More questions about Hillary Rodham Clinton's truthfulness. In an interview this week, the First Lady claimed that she won the women's 100-meter dash at the 1956 Olympics. And that she had an IQ of, quote, over 700. When it was pointed out to her that these were not especially good lies, Mrs. Clinton responded, "I know, I have a problem." And then added, "I invented the formula for 7-Up." In Whitewater news, federal regulators quizzed Hillary Clinton at the White House this week and gave her a perfect score on the lying section. She's a dirty liar. For years, Hillary Rodham Clinton has told people that she was named for the first man to climb Mount Everest, Sir Edmund Hillary. But as Esquire magazine recently pointed out, Sir Edmund did not climb Mount Everest until 1953, 6 years after Hillary was born. However, the First Lady does have a good explanation for the discrepancy. She loves to lie. A former Arkansas banker told the Senate Whitewater Committee this week that he gave Bill Clinton a $20,000 loan as a favor, even though it was, quote, unacceptable banking practice. In response, President Clinton stated that he has no recollection of such a loan, while First Lady Hillary Clinton said, "We've never even been to Arkansas." Our top story tonight comes from the O.J. Simpson civil trial, where this week it was revealed that in his first interview with police, Simpson had refused to take a lie detector test. His reason? It detects lies.
Can I tell you, this reminds me a little bit of Mike Douglas.
Really?
And I'm going to tell you the greatest talk show in the history of talk shows was Mike Douglas.
Mike Douglas.
And his co-host was Sly.
Now, people are going to think that's Michael Douglas. You should probably explain to the folks.
Well, who's watching? Is this in the United States?
Well, I'll explain to the
folks. Yeah, no, don't explain everything.
Mike Douglas.
Oh, Mike Douglas just take everything out of it. There's no sense being here.
I'm saying to the folks at home that Mike Douglas was a talk show host, someone in the vein of Merv Griffin. He was a singer.
Call me when you're through, because I forgot what I was talking about. Okay.
And he had a talk
His
show.
co-host this week was
And every
Sly
week he had a co-host.
of Sly and the Family Stone.
Sure.
And he was stoned out of his bird.
Probably
so
3
they
hours
opened
late.
the show, and he says, Sly, I understand you're getting married. And Sly said, we're going to play 2 engagements on Sunday, and then Monday we're going over to Cleveland, and then we're going to come back. He said, no, aren't you getting married? I don't know if the Horns are going to be there for this engagement, but hopefully we'll be all right. We'll play and get it done. And Mike goes like this, boop. So let's go to commercial. Now, as Sly is sitting here, he brings out Peter Marshall.
Yeah.
From Hollywood Squares. Peter sits right here.
Because the idea of the show is to
don't do this, don't do this. And he says, Peter, who's a great guy, by the way, Peter, he says,
his son plays
you're
baseball.
taking Hollywood Squares to Vegas. You're taking it to the road.
Yeah.
He says, yeah. He said, are you going to change it? He says, no. He says, when it comes to Hollywood Squares, you got to call a spade a spade. Oh. And Sly turns to Peter Marshall on this show and said, I'm going to get you. They go to commercial, they come back, and Sly is still staring at Peter. And Mike Douglas now says, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to bring out the smallest man in the world, Ringling Brothers' own Mishu the Midget. And this guy comes out, and he is the smallest man in the world. Mike picks him up, puts him in the thing, his shoes are like this, that's what you see. And so what you see on camera now is Sly still staring at Peter.
Yeah.
And him talking to Mishu. And he says, Mishu, how old were you when you joined the circus? And Mishu said, Brat. He said, what? Bridget. No, when did you first join? He said, Brat. He said, do you speak English? He said, Brit. He said, oh my God, let's go to commercial. They come back, they bring out his interpreter who is wall-eyed. And that's what you had for the last part of the show. Sly staring at Peter and a wall-eyed interpreter with a midget who didn't speak English.
That's going way smoother than this show.
This story, Sly. We get on the plane, and there was Richard Burton.
You know, this is worse.
Hey, Sly, will you... Hey, wait!
Excuse me, will you look at me once in a while, Sly? Go ahead, please.
Anyway, we get on the plane, and there's Richard Burton. Yeah. You know Richard Burton?
Yeah.
Right. And he's on the plane. Yeah.
I know Richard Burton.
Big guy.
Yeah.
Big in the biz guy. Yeah. And he's there, and he has 9 seats all alone, right?
9 seats?
9 seats to himself.
For what?
I don't know. He didn't want to be bothered, but he had the first seat. So now you get on the plane, and you have to pass Richard Burton, right? There he is. He takes a shine to, excuse the expression, That's terrible. I apologize. That's tacky. That's really tacky. I apologize. No, but he takes a liking. How about that? A liking to Karen Valentine. Oh, yes, he was...
I'm going to get you, bro. You know that, don't you?
You
want me to go back there now? Oh, let me stay there. I thought it was going to say Blade.
No, he...
Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here, you know, and I was asked to host the ESPYs this year. Yeah, hi, that's my name, Espen. When I was asked to host the ESPYs this year, folks, I said yes immediately for one reason and one reason only. This show has interns. I'll be having a little improper relations backstage a little later. But man, it's great to be here at the 6th annual ESPY Awards. Hard to believe, huh, that the ESPYs are 6 years old. Although Anthony Mason swears they're 18. So... yeah, he'll be having sex with the ESPYs in about 12 years. So... I was a little late here tonight. I took the cab to the theater, folks. And I don't know if you've ever been in these New York City cabs, but I got one of those cabbies, couldn't speak English, you know. Saw his name there on the dash. I couldn't even pronounce it. I think it was something like Hideki Arabu. I'm like that. Arabu's been having some trouble, man. They fired his translator. Steinbrenner fired his translator. And people see that as cruel, you know, but I don't know, you know. I mean, if you're not doing well in Yankee Stadium, you know, do you really need a translator? Do you want that, you know? You know? Hey, what'd they say? They say you suck. You should go back to Japan, you dirty foreigner. Okay, I got it. I'm trying to pitch over here. It's great to be here on ESPN. I love sports, man. Man, you can see sports on ESPN you don't see on other networks. You know, like kickboxing. That's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking. It just seems kind of immature. Just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there, man. I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah. Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack. Hey, have you heard about this? Ted Turner and NBC plan to start their own rival football league to compete with the NFL. And not much known about the specifics of this new league, except for this, it will suck. They know that. So they might have trouble, getting advertisers when we know it will suck. And of course, congratulations to the Denver Broncos for winning the Super Bowl. How about that? Denver did great, There he is. I love the Denver fans, because for one thing, they don't wear food on their heads. That's nice. And they had a wild celebration in Denver after that Super Bowl, man. And now city officials expect an even wilder celebration if the Nuggets win 10 games this year. They say they're going to... say the whole city's going to go nuts. Yeah, the Nuggets are having a bad year this year, man. Matter of fact, they're making a film about the team. They got a pretty catchy title. It's Black Men Can't Jump Either. Well, NBA All-Star Weekend over. That was exciting, man. The East beat the West. Jeff Hornacek won the three-point shootout. Houston's Clyde Drexler and Cynthia Cooper won that exciting two-ball thing. And Charles Barkley won the throw a guy through a plate glass window contest. So that was quite a game, I mean, who impressed me the most yesterday was Kobe Bryant. Unbelievable. This guy's amazing. 19 years old, the youngest starter ever in the All-Star game, and he played so well that today he was named spokesman for NBC's new public service campaign called Screw It, Who Needs College? Of course, the biggest story in basketball, no question about it, Michael Jordan may retire. Yeah, Michael Jordan may retire after this season, and it's terrible news for Bull fans, but it is terrific news for golf hustlers. They're happy about it. But Jordan is very serious, though, about leaving. In fact, he's already called the Hall of Fame to make sure that his plaque bears his basketball nickname, Air Jordan, and not his baseball nickname, Senior Crappy. That would just be disrespectful, Well, how about them Winter Olympics? They're finally underway, so we've got a lot of great stuff to look forward to in the next 2 weeks, like hockey and, well, just hockey, really. I was watching last night, I saw speed skating, and my goodness, could the outfits they wear be any tighter? Holy Lord. There was an East German woman, I swear, you could see the outline of her entire penis. It was... goodness. Well, there's all kinds of sports celebrities in the audience tonight. I see Tiger Woods right there. Tiger Woods, how about that, huh? Yeah, he's up for golf. Of course, he's up for Golfer of the Year this ESPYs. And you know who I feel sorry for, folks, is the other two guys nominated for Golfer of the Year. You see these guys getting ready, it's like, hey, honey, have you seen my tuxedo? No, not the good one. The one I wear when I'm going to get my ass kicked. Have you seen that one? Boomer Esiason is with us. Boomer. How you doing, buddy? Boomer, of course, will replace Frank Gifford on Monday Night Football next season. And Frank told reporters that this will allow him to spend more time with his wife and children. Then he broke down and cried for 45 minutes. So. And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? What a season he had. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case, all bets are off. Just a word of advice.
Norm MacDonald, I think, still with us, the actor comedian.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
You do a great job of always making me uncomfortable. When you hosted the ESPYs that one time.
Oh, you were there. I remember that.
Oh my God. You had jokes, but they weren't directed at me. I was uncomfortable, and they weren't even directed at me.
Yeah, I have this thing where I don't even know when I do bad. But that happens to me a lot. I come off, I go, hey, that went pretty well, right? They're like, well, everyone left. I'm like, oh.
Well, we were thinking about you the other day because the ESPYs was on, and one of our favorite things to watch, and every once in a while, like Deadpan or somebody, every time the ESPYs rolls around, they'll put up
they show the whole
which was absolutely brilliant, but apparently not making many friends over at ESPN when you did that.
They won't have me back as an ESPY host.
What did they say to you after it was done?
No, they didn't say anything.
That's not good. Did anyone handle it poorly? Like any of the athletes? Did they? Because you would figure that you go, all right, I'm getting my balls busted a little bit, but this is what this event is all about, and he's a comedian.
Because is there anyone who takes themselves more seriously than athletes?
No, I didn't even stupidly. I didn't even know it was going that bad, and then
it went great.
It was great. It was hysterical.
Yeah, the audience liked it. The New Yorkers,
people liked it.
Yeah.
The only people that didn't like it are those idiots that started the stupid ESPY Awards in the first place for athletes that are already winning awards for their sports. Oh, I don't know, and games.
It was weird the other night to see the Dallas win game of the team of the year.
Yeah,
and come up in their suits.
Yeah, like oh, hooray! Now we've really done it. Yeah. Now we have this meaningless thing to go along with our world championship trophy and all the money that we've accrued. Yeah, that's exactly. Now since the parade's over and the trophies have been given out and the bonuses have been given out, now I get to stand here like an idiot with some stupid award made for television. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really is up to the comedian and the host to save it. You know?
Yeah. The ESPYs looks like it doesn't have as much. I watched it. They did a big, long thing before Seth even went out, They didn't have that much comedy in it. They had a couple of sketches, but there's a lot of amazing things, but it'd be soccer and stuff. Well, you can't even tell if it's a good goal. But it was cool. And then they had some guy that I never even heard of that was in jail for 50 years.
Oh, you know what? It's the Arthur Ashe Award. They do. Listen, it's great that they do it, and it's awesome because, from what I saw of it, before I started fast forwarding, it was very good. But that thing must have been like 15 minutes long.
Oh, it was forever.
It was really, really long. And at some point, people are just going to, like me, go, okay, I understand this guy's story. When are we going to give another award? And you just fast forward right
was
through.
That guy a famous athlete?
I don't know.
I was watching it in fast forward. Apparently, the 15 minutes didn't describe very well what his situation was.
At the end, he got out of jail. He was 50, and he took boxing in jail. But I don't think he did anything.
Oh, he's just like, hey, I warded off rape.
Yeah,
with these fists.
Well, and then the sports thing hasn't worked out because. The ESPYs, too. You were the greatest host in the ESPYs history. You were the only good thing about the ESPYs ever. And they didn't invite you back after that one either. It's something about you and sports are not melding well.
Well, sports, they don't take them. They take themselves a little seriously. Like, they don't they don't need anybody making jokes about them and stuff. They also don't need to be on shows. Like, that's why it never works with interview shows and stuff. When it's just sports guys, because. First of all, if they go on a talk show, they're not even trying, you know what I mean? They're just, hey, what's going on? They're just giggling at the host, kind of, because it doesn't help their career to go on a talk show.
Yeah.
No,
it happens all the time.
Yeah. So they just, and they've had everything handed to them their whole life, so they're not interesting people very much,
Were people mad at the ESPYs? I find that 8-minute stretch you did as one of the greatest things ever. I mean, the look on
Well,
people.
they were bad, yeah. But
they
I
were
didn't realize
so
it.
uncomfortable.
I didn't realize it at the time because, like, the ESPYs, like, it's in Radio City Music Hall, so 95% of the audience is just New Yorkers. And then right in the front, it's 4 rows or something, are all the athletes,
Yeah, like
right?
Dean Smith is giving you like that tisk tisk. How dare you? Who the hell is this guy?
I know, but me, like an idiot, I never saw that because I didn't have monitors or anything. So I was doing well in the room because it was like the New York audience. You can't really see out. But then when I later saw it on TV, it would just cut to scowling black athletes.
The O.J. Simpson joke at the end.
Ken Griffey Jr. didn't care for it. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah.
Did people come up to you afterwards, like the O.J. stuff, and when you were making fun of Tiger Woods? I mean, did people come up afterwards and like confront you, or just say anything, or did you?
Well, Ken Griffey was really mad for some reason. I don't really know why. And he was like, yeah, that was really funny, man, really funny, like real sarcastic. And then I said, hey, man, listen, I just want to tell you one thing. I go, there's never going to be a guy, never going to be a player like your dad. That guy was the best. There'll never be anybody close to that guy.
What did he say?
He just looked at him. He didn't know what to do because what are you going to do? Go, my dad? I'm way better than him. You know? But you knew that's what was in his head.
What did you say about him in the show?
I didn't say anything. I said it was an OJ joke or something. And it just cut to him like with a crazy look on his face, like, what, huh? What?
Yeah, they didn't like the OJ jokes. Neither did Saturday Night Live. You got in trouble on Saturday Night Live for doing the OJ stuff,
it's
too.
kind of bizarre because I always thought, like, it's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to believe anybody would believe that he wasn't guilty. But I will say this, though. Like, because every black guy I knew, like, would go, like, I go, you think he's really innocent? And they go, yeah, kind of, but you could tell, like, they, maybe not, but they were just backing him up. So, but then I was like, that's weird. But then I understood it later because when Robert Blake killed his wife, or allegedly did, I loved Beretta.
You're like, oh,
yeah, so I was like, I don't care. I just want him to. I don't really care. I don't know who this lady is. Like, but it'd be cool to have. I don't want Beretta to go to jail. I don't know. So
that's the white man's equivalent of O.J. Simpson is Beretta.
Exactly. Beretta with the cockatoo and stuff. You can take that to the bank, right? Wasn't that the greatest movie? Remember when you were a kid watching Beretta and like all the other cop shows,
like the
were
Equalizer and things like that.
Yeah, then you see Beretta be like, just Martin Scorsese's TV show. It's all gritty and.
It's a great name for a TV show too.
What?
Beretta.
I guess.
Norm MacDonald with us, based on a true story. It's available September 20th. We're going to do Celebrity Prognosticator with him in just a second. But he's an unusual person, and he likes awkward comedy. Most people are not comfortable with awkward comedy.
He likes to make you uncomfortable.
Oh, and
great.
And there's never been anything in the history of the ESPYs better than his monologue. So I want to go back there for a second with Norm. Thank you for making time for us. What do you remember most about all of that ESPYs thing that you did that made everyone uncomfortable and was hugely great, and instead of celebrated, got everyone mad?
Oh, hi guys.
Hello.
Hi, Norm.
No, this is what happened. I'm sure you guys have been to the ESPYs.
Yes.
No.
And it's a lot of fun. They'll go like, and now for best football team, I know the guy that won the Super Bowl, so they get an award, and so I was doing my stand-up, but the audience is like 90% just New Yorkers, and then right at the first few rows are all the athletes, and so the New Yorker guys liked me, but stupidly I didn't realize that they were showing pictures like behind me of Ken Griffey scowling and stuff, because they all hated my jokes.
John Elway was mad. Did you actually say why the long face to John Elway?
I was against that joke. That was Will Ferrell. He said, "Get some teeth" or something like that. I don't know what he said. Why the long face? I did say, but that's okay. But no, Will took on his teeth, and I was like, "Oh, don't do that."
Who was most upset with you after that night?
Ken Griffey Jr.
Really?
Did he say
yeah,
something?
they told me
like after the show, they were, there's this big party, and they were always like, all through the show, this party's going to be great. And then at the end, I go, where's that party? And they're like, nah, I probably should just go back to the hotel.
That's how you learned that you were not invited to Ken Griffey Jr.'s party?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you remember most about that night? Is there one joke that you're particularly proud of, and you tend to be someone who doesn't, you don't do a lot of reveling in the past. You move on. But is there anything in particular that you are proud of there?
Well, Woodson won the Heisman that year.
That's a good joke.
And so I said, they can never take that away from you unless you kill your wife and a waiter.
It's so good, man. It's such a good joke. It really is.
According to the EPA, it will cost an estimated $295 million to clean up toxic waste at the former Lockheed Martin military aircraft plant in California. The cause of the toxic waste? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. In Princess Anne, Maryland, state health officials have discovered what caused the mysterious death of 200,000 fish at a Somerset County fish farm. The culprit? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. In economic news, unemployment figures rose slightly for the month of October, with declines in the Dow Jones and NASDAQ. The reason for the sudden downturn? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. Entertainment Weekly's list of the 101 most powerful people in show business is out. At number 1, Fox CEO Robert Murdoch. And at number 2, you guessed it, Frank Stallone. And finally, the number 1 selling doll this Christmas is Tickle Me Elmo. And the least popular selling doll? You guessed it, Tickle Me Frank Stallone. And the British Sunday Times is reporting that Belgian doctors have accidentally cloned a human being. The human being? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. Recent photos sent from the Galileo space probe orbiting Jupiter's moon Europa suggests that it meets the conditions necessary to support a primitive life form. Just what kind of life form? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. And finally, the votes are in. And Entertainment Weekly has chosen its funniest man alive. And who is the funniest man alive? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. Congratulations, Frank Stallone.
New songs on the radio sounding fake. Prince and Genesis for better anyway.
On Weekend Update, when you anchored, Frank Stallone was often a punchline. Did he know it was coming, or did you ever talk to him afterwards?
But I talked to his brother, Sylvester Stallone, who hosted the show, and he was like, "What the fuck with Frank?" And so I said, "It's a complete non sequitur. It's ridiculous, And so he told me, he says the thing with Frank is, after Rocky, he decided to become a boxer. So he'd go in the ring with it. It'd say like the Italian stallion's brother." He goes, every boxer in Philadelphia just beat the shit out of him. He goes, you've never been right since, and I feel guilty about it. He says, if you could just lay off him for a while. And I was like, no. So I never did another job.